they are now going to have to ban the Kassadin, you would say, or first pick it themselves. But I'm worried if they actually play it at all. The other one is Gangplank, that they can actually flex that on the Direwolves between mid and top themselves. But also leaves like Rise.
Yeah, and I've heard rumbles of the Fantix Gangplank. Apparently it's ridiculous. So
Sharps.
Yes, which is great. It's how good of a flex pick must it be when both your solos play GP of all things. But Poppy was banned by Direwolves. Yasuo is going to eat another ban there, another Fantix champion that we didn't get to see last game by the fact that it wasn't banned. But I think the desk had it right. Just get it out. We're back on blue side. Give us a good pick. You have to now, onus is on you to ban the good champions. And we're just going to ban Fantix out again.
Is it though? Do we
I don't know. Well, there's Lulu.
That Cheese or Swiper can play Gangplank or Rise? Because we've never seen it. We know that the Direwolves can, but I am not sold that the Chiefs can play these champions.
I wonder if the Wolves are brave enough to leave it up and just see what happens. But we do have Lulu, like I said, banned away. The Chiefs are going to go for one more here. I believe Kassadin would mean history would hold here after game number 1, as with the 3 bans then. There we go, Kassadin banned away.
Yep, so they ban the Kassadin, and Direwolves actually the ones to ban that Lulu. There are now a lot of champions available to them. The question is, what do they ban as their last champion? Whether it's like a Trundle or an Alistar as an example. Deny one of the tank route options here away from the Chiefs. And I personally believe in banning away the Alistar, denying Ejim the one sole tank role they have, because Swiper likes to go for the carry type of tops.
Ooh, they actually banned Graves. So they will not touch GP or Rise or Lissandra, but they will take that jungler out, who's another very strong champion.
Yeah.
And this is sort of what Direwolves do to people's drafts. You warp them so much by having such a potent mid laner that's such a threat. And there's plenty open here for the Chiefs, but they only get one of these. Which one are they going to get?
That's the question. Do they prioritize the Gangplank over the Tahm Kench or Lissandra and give them over to the Direwolves? Because you said it, the way that the Direwolves actually play their drafting phases out is all target bans.
And it's going to be Gangplank, so I don't know who's going to get it, but it will be something that I'm pretty positive the Chiefs can play, but definitely don't have maybe as much history. But the Direwolves now have plenty of options open. I had to suspect this with leaving so many good picks open. Don't think I'm going to go for Tahm Kench Rise, but Tahm Kench certainly a strong pick. We've seen a lot of Tahm just do silly things.
You would have to assume Tahm Kench Lissandra as a first draft here, I think, from these guys. Honestly, it just does it all. Even consider Trundle, I guess, to an extent, to give that to Kuden. I think there's a lot of possibilities here for the Direwolves moving into this drafting phase. They could honestly even go the Zac and just pick it up in the first rotation themselves, because that was big.
Yeah, I loved the Zac from Sybil. Really, just good combo, good play as well by him, and I think let the Direwolves apply so much more pressure and get those deep wards down, which made a world of difference, as we noted in that game. But only 10 seconds left now for the Direwolves to pick up these champions. And they're going to maybe slow things down. Tahm Kench, Alistar, great first picks.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned earlier they might want to get the Alistar away from Ejim. So one of the big engage tools that the Chiefs would use primarily is now no longer theirs, and is in fact going to go to Kuden, who you wouldn't say is the most noted Alistar player. In fact, he's a Soraka player.
It's a bit different from Woo!
Yeah.
But we'll see if he can woo his way with the cow. Ejim, of course, a great Alistar player. We actually sort of didn't touch on that last game, but unfortunately for the Chiefs, comp didn't come together there versus the very big Kassadin. What are the Chiefs going to take here for 2 and 3? 25 seconds to make up their minds here for this one. And again, a lot open, but the Direwolves do leave their draft nice and flexible as well.
It could be as simple as an Elise type of composition here from the Chiefs. They're working around a Gangplank, so you good at this? No. So there's a lot of poke that's already going to be there from Gangplank, regardless of what lane that is going to be in. And this is also a flex, so it's pretty smart.
I like this a lot, especially Raze's Corki looking real good, as Elise Corki are going to be the picks. I would not mind Raze taking Ezreal away from Radier.
Yeah.
Because he's certainly prioritizing the champion. You already mentioned the Zac. Saw this matchup last game, could see it here again, but the Direwolves plenty of time to decide if these are the picks they want. And understandably, it looks like they are going to counter-pick mid lane.
Of course, Sybil very comfortable knowing exactly how to play the jungle matchup here against Spooks, and the champion matchup in particular. So whatever Sybil wants to go, he knows exactly how Spooks is going to play this out. And you're right, they should always be flexing that middle lane as their last pick, just because it's Fantix, and he's the one who's getting 3 bans against him anyway. Why not let him counterpick regardless?
Yep. Also, do want to make sure which soul lanes are going where. The Dials are just ensuring all these last picks here. They are sold on the Zac, they'll pick it up, and they are going to take the Ezreal away, which could, of course, go to Fantix, which is a nice bit of extra. He has played it already. In the
Definitely could go to Fantix. They've got options here, Direwolves, and the immediate response from the Chiefs that I would imagine should complement the rest of their team composition would be a Thresh in the support role, ideally. They could go for a Trundle for a similar purpose, but I think extra pick would be ideal for the Chiefs right now. It's something else to help them go in. Not just poke.
I know that I think in general Ejim does like the Trundle into Ali matchup, so could see that here, of course. Trundle, weirdly enough, a top tier support. Yeah. Who would have thought? 2016, welcome. It's very fun. But Chiefs do need to sort of sort things out here. They've hidden a lot of this draft, but they're going to have to give away wherever these champions are going. Because, of course, they could still technically actually just pick a bottom lane here.
They could, yeah. We have no idea where Cheese is going to go. I'd be very curious to see Cheese actually play
back
Corki.
on the Corki.
After game 2, I feel like he would not want to and might even default to something else, but
okay. There's Gnar actually for Swiper, which is more of a tank into the top side. That should leave Cheese actually on the GP, and Janna actually picked up. So I heard Ejim yesterday talking when he was here on the desk, describing Trundle as the new Janna. So this is actual Janna now.
Yeah, so he's gone away from the new one, back to the old faithful Janna that he's got here, and works quite well with Radar on this Corki, so a lot of damage in the bottom lane. They've got engaged from Swiper essentially in this top lane on the Gnar, can jump in and do his Mega Gnar things. Which is such an unfortunately named ultimate, just Gnar.
Gnar.
Yeah. But yeah, they've got a well-rounded team composition here, honestly, Chiefs. I feel like it's dangerous for Direwolves.
And how do the Dials round this out? Kuden having some fun, hovering a Zillion, I'm sure a favorite champion of his. But they are trying to figure out how they want to sort this all out. I think they do need some damage from Fantix in the mid lane, because they've got a pretty good tank line already. Actually, very good tank line, I'll say. But I have to think it is going to be Raze taking the Ezreal. And this is a pretty good time for a Victor. They are going to take it. Yeah,
so they lock in the Victor. They know it's against the Gangplank, and very interesting dynamic to watch in this lane. I feel like Victor actually does have a lot of power here, but a low mobility champion, essentially, once the GP powers up, could present a couple issues here.
Yep, you get caught in any CC and you are done.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about Victor is if people run at you and you can skirt the outskirts of the fight and Direwolves can use their own wombo combo, Victor will absolutely shrek people from almost any range. So we've kind of got the Sybil Fantix synergy again, just a bit of a different comp.
Yeah, and we're looking at a wave clear heavy mid laner as well, which is the big thing that the Direwolves honestly needed to cement and round out their team composition in a strong manner. They've got magic damage to boot, and like that's just a really good composition. They're engaged, their front line. Their poke almost matches the Chiefs, just in a different way.
Yeah, I think both teams have actually drafted really well here. I find it interesting that the Chiefs are going back to more team fighting with Swiper, which I think maybe is where they're a bit more comfortable. But for me, the question is always going to be mid lane here. Fantix had a great game. Cheese had a very good game 1, actually. And Cheese now has Gangplank. Yeah. We know Fantix is expected to perform, but he doesn't have a signature pick or a super strong pick. GP is amazing, and Cheese has to really step up here. Maybe atone for some of game 2.
100%. We're looking at Cheese right now to be the big carry in this game. Swiper's going to facilitate with the Gnar this time, so a bit less in the carry direction, a lot more towards letting Cheese go off.
Well, we'll see if he can do that, and if you think he can, then his team will win. Use hashtag CHF win, or if you think the Dials are going to take the OPL Legend title away, get in there with the hashtag DW win, and of course, hashtag IamOPL. If you're just generally talking on Twitter, or even with your win hashtags there as well. And it's nice to be going to game 3, and this should be fun.
I mean, that's first game 3, I think, of the entire OPL, so lots of positives here. And Direwolves against the Chiefs, maybe not the game that everyone expected to be the first to go to 3.
No.
Very interesting to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, I think Carbon had the Chiefs at 2-1. Chiefs slated to win almost any match they enter, but they are threatened here by the Direwolves, who are going to move out of their base for the final time, as we actually are now at our last OPL game of the entire week, Rusty. And what a way to end it here. Our first game 3 ever. And after 2 excellent games here between these 2 teams, we'll see who has the medal here to really move through and pick up a win. Because unfortunately, unlike the best of 2 format, or best of 1 format, you need to win the 2 games there. And you don't get any points at all.
Helps Atlas with his predictions, to be
fair. It does.
Fair.
That's true. He's much better at predictions now.
The game 3 only predictor, Atlas.
Well, you can see just a bit of warding back and forth. So we're going to get shot, but he should be okay. And looks like standard lanes once again. I do like seeing these teams sort of go at it in the individual lane matchups. Strong players across the rift for both sides here. And once again.
Yeah.
We'll look to mid lane as bottom lane are going to do their standard jungle starts. And it seems like both junglers are also starting on the same side. Like you mentioned in game 2, favoring more of that top to bottom side style.
Yeah, favoring their double lane, of course, the bot lane or AD carry support combo, which is generally in that bottom lane. So easier to start with your top lane and get a small leash, or depending on what Sharp started, potentially the biggest leash of your life, because it's Tahm Kench.
Oh.
Nah, never mind.
Oh well. Well, not this time. There's a bit of help there, but Sybil should be just fine here. Smiting them away. Sharp actually going to help quite a bit there, but go up to his lane, and Spook's going to start the blue buff now as well. So all going as predicted here in the early jungle stages, and Victor vs Gangplank. This should actually be one of the more passive lanes we've seen these two play.
To an extent, yeah. I feel like Cheese is going to put a lot of emphasis on trying to poke him down with the Q, but it's possible for Fantix to match that with the Q of his own.
Ooh, potential all-in. Ejim only level 1, but Radier stoning Lassie. Razor gets a great trade back in. Shifts in as well. What a cheeky devil.
He forced a heal.
Wow. Raze finally getting the Ezreal away from Radier. He played a great Corki in game 1 despite the loss, and he's showing off this kid.
Kuden can honestly try and flash engage here and look for an opportunity, because that's a heal and the potion gone from Direwolves. They're looking for level 3 first, ideally. And they could even force an early recall out of the Chiefs. That was just raw mechanics and hitting everything whilst dodging.
Spooks and Sybil. Uh-oh, Cocoon lands in. Spook's going to get the proc, but Sybil actually flashes. Smart play there. Did not have the slingshot after the cancel. And Spooks will move in and start to get a bit more aggressive.
Spook's not actually even going into the spider form, just forcing the flash by walking at him as a ranged human. Could have probably done a bit more damage than he did, but didn't need to overcommit needlessly.
No, didn't. Fantix goes in for a nice trade, actually. Lands the laser in as well, so good Victor there from Fantix. This Cheese should be just fine. Doran's doing versus Potion as Cheese does chug the last. And Spook's now invading his blue buff. Another smart play from the Chiefs jungler.
Yeah, you call this middle lane non-aggressive. Well, I beg to differ based off the way Fantix is playing it. Sybil being completely controlled here.
Oh, he's going for it, but Kuden's up here as well with Raze. They're going to go in for a great combo there, and Raze just goes forward. Exhaust is down onto the Ezreal, but they'll keep chasing in. First blood goes to Raze, and can they get more? Ejim trying to run himself away, but he's pretty squishy. A good tornado might be enough disengage, but Flash is up for Kuden. Will they go all in for it? Ejim's forced to flash.
I don't even know if Ejim needed to flash. A lot of summoners being used and the pick onto Spooks. Massive start here for Direwolves. The fact that he had to repel immediately, it's just easy work here for Kuden. Hits the combo, Raze flashes to secure it for himself. The unfortunate thing is he got cocooned as he got the last hit, so not able to continue and put down damage on Ejim. The pressure was too much as there was a chance Raze just committed.
Yeah, you know that Ejim's a seasoned Alistar player. He would likely have the cooldown in his head, knowing that I might get pulved soon, so just had to flash there. He was dead if he didn't, I think, so great play there from the Dials. This time from the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Raze is only getting better as we see him play. Even week to week, his aggression is much more calculated this week,
I said this at day 1. Week 1, day 1. The Raze is the person to look out for. I feel like a lot of people have slept on this AD carry, but he's showing why you shouldn't.
Maybe don't sleep on the kid after this series, but we'll see how it develops. He does have first blood and a CS lead, so it's a great start to lane. He got blue buff as well. My God. That is disgusting.
If ever there was a start you want to have.
Kuden getting in there once more. And the Chiefs bottom lane starting to panic, I almost feel like here. They've definitely been in situations like this before, but they rarely, if ever, lose lane. Good poke, though, onto Fantix by Cheese. And out of mana, Cheese gets aggressive. Smart time to do so. Fantix forced back now.
Yeah, absolutely. Having the Sheen was massive for him right there. Fantix will go back, likely upgrade his Hex Core and be much more comfortable in this lane at the moment.
Well, Cheese, in the meantime, is going to barrel down all over the creeps. As you are correct, upgrade there. Pink ward as well, and actually does use the TP back to lane, so never wants him a CS. Fantix back straight away.
Yeah, and of course, Cheese was using his aggressive advantages he had with the item. Not going to be able to as much anymore. And very cute mechanical work out of the Chiefs mid laner. Auto-attacking the keg to get it down to 1 health. And connecting it to him.
Well, I guess answering our earlier question, he in fact can play Gangplank. Certainly at least in the lane here has good control of the champion. Kuden going for an Ejim-style roam almost.
With Zac on the other side.
Now Fantix fights in. This could be brutal. Cheese is bought the flash, but Sybil's already there. Kuden will flash pole in there, and they're going to headbutt him away. Fantix gets the kill.
And Dire will start this game with a 1,000 gold lead and 2-0 is the kill score. This bottom lane is going so well. The Kuden is now roaming.
And this is what we saw in Game 1 from the Chiefs with the Shen Ezreal combo. And Ray's just playing back. He's got a tier. He's stacking it up. Shane's going to be on the way soon. He's in a bit of a low point here for Ezreal power, but he's just fine after the kill he got. Sybil, oh, he does get the whoop as well. That's just rude.
Even getting away and not getting cocooned by Spooks. This control now that you're feeling on the map, starting to pressure the Chiefs. Could be making forced errors soon here if this continues.
Could be. And looks like Kuden is joining back in, so Raze has just kept up even on CS. Kind of hard for Janakoki to punish, and Raze just playing very well so far early in this game. Still early, of course, 7 minutes in. The Dials have carved themselves out a nice little spot. Some good early movements, and it just feels like the more they play, the better they are at aggression. They're just playing a bit more proactively game after game.
I feel like they're adapting just to the way the Chiefs are thinking and playing their lanes. Like, the smallest details are starting to become a lot more apparent to the Direwolves side. And here we go again.
Oh, here comes Spooks. Good timing for a gank here as Kuden did go in down the bottom lane. No flash left and no ulti here, and Spooks very well timed. That's going to be a dead kill, and Radier will get it.
And they ensure Radier gets the money back, so that's more in his pocket. And this bottom lane is well and truly evened out. Not sure on the aggression there from Kuden.
Yeah, no
Didn't
vision.
really have anything.
Yeah, no vision there. In fact, they might even line up a dive here. Raze doesn't quite have his flash yet, but does have heal. And he's just going to have to back away here. No ulti to really wave clear, so he just has to chill.
And Sybil knows that Spooks is bottom, has immediately gone towards the Chief's blue buff, even though he has no health to his name.
And Spooks doing a great job here. This could net them a tower as well. That'd be a huge swinging goal back for the Chiefs. And it is going to be. It looks like we might even things all the way back up as bottom tower will fall.
Absolutely does. Raze.
Yep, aggressive again because Kuden's back, but he's a little low on mana. Oh, Kuden again going in, but Raze will not follow.
Yeah, they want the Sheen buy first here for the Ezreal before they consider any more aggression. But just keeping them around, you know, get a bit of extra farm in the pocket.
Oh, good kick again there. Fantix just kind of face checks that one. And she's looking good here.
I swear that was a 2 health.
Good timing. As Sybil is back here. He's actually much healthier now. Yeah. Taking a couple camps and doing exact things. And here we go again. Whee! Missed that time.
Yes, evidently misses that time. Sybil's still not recalling after taking the blue buff as well.
Oh, he's level 6. Yeah, he's actually pretty healthy. Might take Raptors and do it again. Cheese is like, I don't really want to do this. Doesn't have any summoners. And Phoenix has plenty of damage.
How much pressure Sybil can put down just by showing himself once, even if he misses. Cheese knows in the area, and look at how far back he's
standing. And Kuden's even up here as well. Raze does actually go get his Shin and CDR boot, so we are going to have a swap actually, because the Chiefs have already moved their dual lane up to the top side. You can see Tom Kench is moving down. Naz there already, and playing a tower behind could be tricky here for the Direwolves. Losing these outers, definitely good gold in the pockets of Chiefs.
Yeah, and the question is, where do Direwolves want to switch their focus to if they want to get objectives back?
Just baiting again. Oh, he misses, but he's going in for the flash. Tent is down. All the combos in, and goodbye, Cheese. Straight up in the air, and he is going to go die to Fantix.
Frozen in mid-air. Once again, they pick on Cheese. And the Direwolves, I feel like they know exactly what their strategy is. Yep. It's tried and trusted, and they know it's true and effective, and that is get kills on Fantix and try and tilt Cheese.
Well, normally the other strategy for the teams is camp Fantix, but he's getting all the attention this game. Jungle pressure really paying off nicely as Kuden will finally rejoin Raze, but damage is there for Radier. He wants blood after that first exchange in bottom lane.
I just feel like Raze doesn't have an off button anyway, so they're just going to fight until the death. But Spooks is the biggest difference between the junglers right now. He's looking at this bottom lane of the Chiefs and trying to get them further ahead.
Certainly is, and this could be a second turret with no answer. It will be as Spooks doing a nice job. Kuden no ulti, has to be careful, getting blown to pieces almost here. Does go in, good headbutt back in the ports in for Sharp. That will disengage the fight. Oh, it's Fantix actually. Pops a spooky ghost, and in we go onto Ejim. Damage is there. Oh, that auto got cancelled, I believe, but heal from Radier burnt as well. Ejim flashes out.
2 summoner spells used. Of course, evens out the summoner spell count, if we're going to go by that. So, good teleport for Fantix as well. Has the Frost Queen's claim and has to force these summoners just by slowing them down. Easy to assume that it was Sharp as well.
Yeah. Could have voyaged his way in, but he's still chilling bottom lane. In fact, not really seeing the bottom side because they are doing, I guess, what we expected. Lots of farming.
Yeah.
Black Cleaver on the way for Swiper first item and farming Cinder into that Sunfire for Tom. Pretty typical stuff there as Raze and Kuden trying to answer back on these turrets, but Ezreal on mana doesn't really feel it.
You don't often see Ezreals using their E to farm, but Raze he just doesn't care.
We did explain he was very good at last hitting minions. He has to use everything. Maybe not always the best idea. But
this is a mismatch and a half
yes.
in this middle lane at the moment. 2-0 on Fantix with his completed Frost Queens as mentioned earlier. It's off cooldown. I honestly think that he's going to look at EGM and Raider and he's going to I'll take you on.
Well, here comes the pressure. This is the last turret for the Chiefs to want to take in the outer ring, but Fantix has so much wave clear. Sybil in again. And he's just being annoying at this point.
He's 2 levels ahead of Spooks because Spooks is spending all of his time focusing on Raider and EGM, getting advantages around the map in gold, but all of the advantages has just put the gold to even.
Yep.
That's 2 turrets to 0 and the exact same gold score. Because look at the farm difference between Sybil and Spooks.
Yeah, 55 to 31 is a huge discrepancy for the jungle. And here comes Kuden and Sybil. Nice flank, actually. Oh, Kuden.
You've made a mistake.
He did. Onto Spooks, forcing a flash. It's literally a jungler and a support. Here comes Swiper. Sybil does get knocked up, and here he goes. Meganar in, but the bounce is popped. Kuden trying to disrupt him, but Radier now shooting him in. The bounce actually lands in, and Fantix will cut them off at the pass. Aggressive, but well played by the Wolves.
Absolutely well played by Sybil to get out with his life, knocking the Meganar into Kuden, who then pulverized him and headbutted him, then just walked away. Really good disengage strategies, and this is one of the strengths that you'll find of Zac.
Yep, Zac a champion. We might be seeing a little bit more, but he's looked good pretty much every time we've seen him in the OPL so far. Gangplank ult to use bottom lane now. I've actually chosen the top laner apparently. Currently hanging out against Sharp. And Ghost Pop, Radier's like, I don't like where this is going. Eats a laser to the face, and the Direwolves will take Dragon 1 once again.
The Direwolves starting to feel on top of objectives and controlling the map. The natural response of the Chiefs...
They're heading gold now.
...is to go mid, yeah. And that's generally because they've got the outer turrets. Where else is a Raider to farm?
Yeah. I mean, now Nas in the top lane. Sharp could find himself in a bit of strife. Cheese going to get himself eaten. And Sharp's like, nah. Oh, that flash! Very well done, sir.
That's a tough wall to make it over, but he seems to show that he knows what he's doing here. Sharp could have been on a low light reel, puts himself in a comfortable position and gets out alive. And again, we're watching pressure from Swiper and Cheese.
And now the starting gold starts to tick in as well. Raze denying CS. That's how confident he is with this turret.
Doing circles.
He is? Just hanging out?
Whee. Do the figure 8, man.
Woo.
Change it up.
Go the other way. Counterclockwise. Oh, he's not listening, but does get what he wants. Shifts into an Essence Flux to recall into a brush. That is brave.
I'm not even sure. It was so unnecessary. He also doesn't even recall in the bush. Has to, 3 times he tried to recall.
Well, Rift Herald here will go to Swiper, I have to think, but good pick up there for the Chiefs. Bit of extra gold and bit of extra power for Swiper.
Yeah, it's a free objective on the map for them to take. A bit of extra gold in Swiper's pocket, I believe, or Spooks' pocket. And he gets the buff for the minions to help lane control. And you're against the Sunfire Tahm Kench, so lane control is actually quite nice.
And you can see with Radier's still in this mid lane, which I guess makes sense, but they've not made any concerted effort for a siege.
No.
Because it's kind of hard to siege against Victor.
Well, it's impossible.
But Fantasy is actually doing damage to that turret because Cheese isn't there.
Exactly, and even if EGM's there to help Raider, they're still not going to be able to take the turret in the middle lane, you would have to say here, the Chiefs. Spook's putting a lot of effort on hanging around here, placing vision around here as well. But it's all to no avail. It's honestly just time wasted.
And he's still so far behind in CS, his Spooks. Oh, Raze been caught, shifts out. Swiper, though, about to hit Mega. That's a good flash out from Ezreal. Swiper, though, does get the summoner.
Yeah, forcing the summoner just by sitting in that bush is great work here from Swiper. I'm quite confused. I mean, I don't know if the minions were Rift Heralded? Herald buff?
Yeah, I'm not sure how the interaction works, actually.
But Raze should have seen that if they were. Well,
too busy last hitting, and Sybil is going to go for it. Ejim's the target. Oh, what? That was a weird hitbox, but Sybil does not connect.
I believe the tornado cancelled the Zac jump, but you couldn't see the animation for it. And so Ejim just casually walks out.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice little NATO there from Ejim. As the Direwolves are looking to get aggressive around this mid lane. They can nail down a target. Fenix should be able to burst them relatively quickly. And you can see we've got two different side lane pharmacy. Ooh, Sharp coming in. Trying to get the tongue down. Does not land. But we've got actually two side lanes now farming for the Chiefs. Dial's really concentrating on this mid turret.
It's just constant pressure. Sybil stole the red buff away from the Chiefs.
Wow.
He's now working around mid lane, just letting Fantix be.
And Eden's babysitting this turret now. This is a tough time for the Chiefs because they, I guess, need to get their GP farm. Cheese O2 in the lane to start things off in a massive CS hole, actually, as I look down.
Yeah. And again, this comes down to just making bad decisions here. They're not setting up vision to let anyone go in a side lane. They're forcing Rayder to stay mid, and he's not even getting further ahead with his farm because Ezreal's 1v1ing Gnar in the top lane. And Chief, like,
oh,
here we go.
Here we go, down to the bottom lane. Cheese, hello, you have some new friends. Kuden and Sharp going to group up, but Spooks and Ejim are here as well. I'm going to go for the tongue. They do land it. Cheese will flash. Dials will not chase too far. Ulti just for some summoners. Good pressure there. Whee! Oh.
Doesn't opt into it, of course. Was giving the blue buff over to Fantix. Didn't look for a flank himself there, Sybil. And they're just content. This is such a big decision-making error from the side of the Chiefs, but a good one from Direwolves to prolong the effect that this is causing.
I would be so scared if I was Ejim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does clear the pink ward, though.
Can die.
Part of me was hoping Fantix was just going to flash and kill him, but level 7 Jana stays safe for now. And now Kuden doing a bit of babysitting of his own. There's lots of action around this mid lane, but we sort of expect this. I think you coined it the Oceanic ARAM, Rusty.
Yeah. I think Carbon actually said that one.
Oh, my apologies.
I just referenced Carbon when I said that.
Credit to
You
Carbon.
are correct.
Well, you can see it makes sense, but these wave clear mid lane, especially that Fantix has just been sitting in his lane, making it a bit tricky. The farm is going well, though, with Sybil once again charging it up. Woo! And now
GP
pressure on the turret. Yeah, GP ult to use. Sybil, ooh, a little low, but we'll be all right. Nice zoning there from the GP, but Dials can just keep doing this.
They can, and the question, as you did reference the Oceanic ARAM as it were called, what is the measure or the way to actually stop this from continuing to happen? What's the breaking point? And generally that's why a lot of teams ban Malphite, because you can just go. You can just break the siege or the stalemate that tends to happen here.
Spooks? Really?
That was
so aggressive.
I don't even know if aggressive is the right word,
Well,
but we'll go with aggressive.
Well, we will. Fantix, so does actually need to scale up a bit, but he's been sitting mid farming up an absolute storm.
Yeah, ready to recall. He is at 210 CS at 19 minutes.
Ready to rocket? Oh! How rude.
Rip.
The dream is dead.
Now he has to stay for another wave.
Oh, poor Fantix.
Oh, it sucks.
Having to stay for more farm. Never seen that one before.
More. Watch the Zac. No win. But again, Direwolves, they're content doing this.
Yeah.
They've got the Zac to break it as well. If it came down to them looking for an engage, they've very much got the means to do so.
And we've seen this from them in last game, even the game one where they were very far behind. Ready? Whee! Just because it can.
And what does perfection buy? Oh, there you go.
Perfect hex score and a needlessly large rod. That is quite a power spike.
Definitely is. And speaking of power spikes, Ezreal's just finished his Muramana. Just got it up to the max stacks at 19 minutes, so good timing there. And I believe got blue buff?
I think maybe so. Sharp does use the ulti in top side. Returning to the lane.
No, he didn't.
Dragon again for the Dials, really on top of this objective. Pressure from Chiefs in mid though. Dragon does go down. Raised to the bottom lane now. As Rady did get blue buff actually. We saw that exchange earlier.
Yeah. But as much pressure as the Chiefs try and place on mid, as long as Fantix is there, they're not going to be able to take the turret.
Nope. And Fantix is now very strong. Some of those more... Oh, down bottom side actually. Cheese could be a 1v1 to get raised with the outplay.
The young mechanical AD carry for the Direwolves comes up massive again. Even baits teleport out of Sharp on the assumption he won't win. That's what we call a lack of faith. Right
Yep. Should have been in comms. Don't worry, I got this. And boy, did he ever raise. Showing up time and time again. I feel like, again, the Dials get strong with a loss. Raze is really powering up as he gains more experience here in the OPL. And Dials might just zone them off this turret. Silver can maybe tank it. Thunderlord's proc there. Silver, uh-oh. Bad news, Bears. Taking too much damage. But is Zac will be okay. And here's Sharp, just to make sure.
Well timed, actually, from Sharp to be here. Should be able to help defend the turret, where otherwise Sybil had to recall. But he's just going to go farm Raptors.
I mean,
So not looking for a fight anytime soon is the point you can make from that.
Good regen, of course, from the Zac. We saw that a bit from Sybil before. Hitting level 6, staying in the jungle to apply more pressure. And he's farmed up really well. Still 30 CS ahead. A Swiper in the top side trying to make the difference. Looks like Sterix might be the second item here. And Swipers actually does a decent amount of damage, but as far as team fights go, he's not that tanky.
No.
Slash tanky at all.
He's not going to be tanky as such, but he's got a lot of base health. Sharp's here.
Hello. Quiet Taste. Nope. No proc. Tongue Lash out of range, but Swiper will burn the flash. And Raze is collecting so much free farm just based on the movement. This game has been very intricate as far as moving up for farm goods, except for Fantix, who literally gets to sit mid and farm all day.
Well, to be fair, Raider's the mid laner at the moment as well.
Yes.
He's just got a support sitting with him because, again, there's nowhere for them to go.
Gets aggressive. Kuden does have ulti, but that's about it, really. Fantix, I think, went to go get blue. And Chiefs did pressure bottom side, so Chiefs starting to get a bit more aggressive. Top side does fall, though. Raze finally equalizes the turret advantage, and Dials are still 2,000 gold ahead. And now we're going to have a fight. Oh, Spooks, good flash out. Sybil blocked once again by the NATO, and here comes Cheese. Big barrel play, but it's just under the tanks. The teleport is going to come in for Swiper, though. Sybil is going to bounce around and try and buy his team some time. Does he have a flash? He does not, but he slingshots out to safety, and Raze going to try and snipe in there. Fantix got exhausted already. The Chiefs burnt so much there and got nothing.
A lot was used, and to no avail, as Raze and Fantix are still around and with high health. There's nothing that the Chiefs will be able to do right now, and they just have to go back and recall. Again, every single time they try and do something, it's answered. And look at the difference in farm.
It's ridiculous. Fantix casually up 70 CS on his lane opponent.
And this is all just decision-making from the Chiefs and lane assignments at the moment. Just kick Raider out of mid. So get out.
Oh, Agent poked down Raze, getting real aggressive, actually. Might be really trying to show off. Raze not going to go in straight for it, but does shift out as Rady Valkyrie is in. But that was almost another 1v1.
And he just auto-attacked it.
Ulti. Oh, nails it! And now a fight breaks out, but Radius caught out of position. Raze over the top, great positioning there, and he's going to get the double. He will die for it. But the mechanics on this kid cannot be understated as Sybil's diving in the tower. Fantix might be able to block them off, puts down the gravity field. Cheese is here. Great auto on the barrel from Fantix in the middle of it. And Dials, I said already, they're showing off today.
Oh my god, he just went under the turret?
He's got passive, whatever, man. Whee!
Yeah, Fantix again, he's so on top of this gangplank. Not a single keg has really been able to explode thus far. And there is no answer from the Chiefs right now. This is a commanding Direwolves side that is slowly growing that gold lead further.
3,500 gold up now. I feel like we saw a bit of this style last year from the Direwolves with a different roster. But they snowballed again. It's, again, they play so patient.
Yeah.
But they're not messing around this game. They are still making sure they solidify their lead. They're just doing it at the tempo that suits them. And with the way they're playing right now, I cannot blame them.
But this is the Raze show at the moment.
It is.
That's all we're seeing right now. It's just the Ezreal who decides to be over-aggressive and makes it work every single time.
You already said it. This kid is good. Level 14 now for Raze. Once again, taking that empty lane farm. Keeping up nicely with Raider. Absolutely went savage on the CS in game 1. But that's Fantix's turn this time around, who, as always, immaculate CSing. He has so much farm. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. He is 40 ahead of the clock. Like, he's taking Raptors. I'm sure he's taking Wolves where he can. Probably taking enemy Raptors at this stage, and he doesn't miss a single farm in the lane. And this, like, I'm legitimately confused. Raider is a mid laner.
Yes, apparently. Once upon a time he was.
But now Cheesy's like permanent side lane. So they're running 1-3-1 the entire time, Chiefs, because they're running a double teleport comp. And that's fine if that's your strategy, right? But in every lane where they're the one member, they're not actually gaining anything. So these two are just going to butt heads constantly. And I honestly believe that Raze is capable of 1v1ing Cheese.
I think so too. A Swiper is going to get a bit aggressive. Sharp though, might just eat him. This could be hilarious.
Oh, no.
Do it. Tongue lash. Oh, please. No. Eat him. Oh, ulti. Swiper not going to get eaten. I just assumed that he would like stick all the way out his body.
You want to see a Mega Knight inside his stomach.
And then he goes mini, and like, that's weird. I don't know what that is.
It'd be cool if Tahm Kench got bigger based off what was inside his stomach. Like, he actually had to carry the size of the model.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We get slower.
Imagine trying to carry like 5,000 HP Zac.
That would be glorious.
I mean, he's gelatinous, so he might be a little lighter than normal, but...
Step aside Baron.
Oh man, if you eat Baron. champion literally just dies.
That hitbox, though. Like, you could play like a hide under the Tom Kent strategy. You eat your ally, Zach, and just the rest of them just hide underneath you. Just scuttle along.
Ooh, catch on the Fantics perhaps. Damage is coming in. Radiant, though, going to get punted out by Kuden as Dragon does go over to the Wolves once again. That's 3 Kuden. He's going to need the speed to get out of this one. But Fantics will blow the flash and stay safe. Chiefs, though, nice little pick.
All I'm saying is that Raze is still trying to fight Cheese in this bottom lane. He has half health. Middle lane's got Sybil.
Oh, knock up Kuden! Comboing in again, but a good disengage ulti there from Ejim as Sharp will join in. No tower to run to as Sharp gets the first one. Ulti out there, nails 2 for the damage from downtown. And Raze is here already. In onto Radiant. Sybil gets the kill. Swiper going to get knocked back. Mega enough, but he gets exhausted and absolutely eaten down by Sharp.
And the Chiefs have no answer again. What are the Chiefs to do? This Direwolves side now 7 kills ahead, 5k gold ahead, and in the driver's seat in game number 3, they've started up the Baron.
Straight to Baron for Direwolves. And this Baron will die quickly. The Chiefs are going to try and defend. Good Keg actually has Spooks over the side, but Raze, he's just going to 1v1 him. Spooks needs to come down and try and steal the Baron, but Dials have stopped hitting it. Spooks will die. That's going to be Baron over to the Dials unless Chiefs can pull off something miraculous. But there we go. Baron is down. Gold lead is growing real fast this game.
And that's the Baron. They also take down Elise with them. Very smart play here from the Direwolves. The engage was phenomenal from Sybil. The combo was great. And they also get knocked next to Ejim. Sharp doesn't even have to eat him. He just auto-attacks him to death. Fantix is stuck dealing with Spooks. That doesn't even matter at the moment because this Zac combination, the range that he can engage from, not having an ultimate as well was pretty big. It's just ridiculous. This Direwolves team, they're putting on a show.
And we got to answer the question. Unfortunately, Meganar does not do hilarious things with some games.
No, he doesn't.
But a kill there for Sharp. He picks up a couple in that, and the Direwolves really moving with momentum now. We talked about them being sort of a patient team that build up to that lead. Usually, when you push a big snowball down a hill, it starts rolling faster and faster, and that's exactly what's happening. Kuden almost goes in like 2v3 with Raze on the sidelines, and Raze is crazy strong right now.
But that's a good example of how much regard they're actually giving to the Chiefs lineup. They do not even care anymore. They just feel like they are so far ahead. It's a bloodthirster for Raze.
Yeah, he's just ridiculous at this point. And Fantix is even split pushing bottom side. 1-3-1 now for Direwolves.
Sharp can beat the 1v1 right now as well because he's a Tahm Kench.
Good poke actually from Radiant. Ray's going to have to chill out maybe a bit. But life steals away there pretty swiftly with the help of Ali as well. And Tower's just under siege constantly here. There's a frozen mallet for Swiper.
There's a flank here for Victor.
Woo! Sybil goes in, flashes in for the left bounce, and now Fantix is going to chase it in. Ejim caught out. He's going to die as the ulti. Going to pop down. No, maybe okay as Fantix. Now going to get caught out, but Raze going to move in for the cleanup duty. And Sharp is just over the wall. Fantix will live. Sybil will live. Gangplank will die. Janna is dead. And Radiant just going to get chased down. He can't fight the Tahm Kench. And Raze still showing off here. The kid going absolutely ballistic. Finally goes down to Swiper. But Swiper's going to die. That's a Tahm triple, and that's an ace.
And a teleport's about to come in for them to cement the kills that they just got. Take down objectives. It's now 3-15, and the Chiefs, they are in complete trouble. This could be the inhibitor and potentially even more.
Not looking good here for the Chiefs. The Dials are 10,000 gold ahead. Poised to take the game against Oceania's top team and the OPL Legend title, just to make victory that much sweeter. And this might just be game. Sybil going to catch in onto Ejim.
Yeah, this is
game. They will
game.
end this game.
We call the Direwolves passive, but not with their new AD carry. This is a revitalized Direwolves, and they beat the Chiefs
convincingly in this game as well. Huge game for the Direwolves. And I have news for you guys. Fantix is no longer the only carry on the Direwolves.
Absolutely right. And guess what? The Legends belt is gone as well. That's a very short-lived belt from the Chiefs.
But everyone was wrong about when we were going to lose it. I said week 4. Atlas said whatever Carvin said. I think Carvin said week 8 when they played them. And week 2, it's gone. Last game of the week as well.
And that was such an emphatic way to win. Direwolves, congratulations.
Yeah, huge game there. Certainly seemed to only get better with losses, but let's break it down a bit further with the guys at the analyst desk.
What a performance out of the Direwolves. And you have to cast your mind back. Week 6, Day 1, March 19, 2015, was the last time the Chiefs dropped a result in Oceania and now being taken down by the Direwolves. That is a pretty emphatic gut check for the Chiefs if I ever saw one.
Oh, yeah. And look, the Direwolves played ridiculously. What we were saying about, like, let's rein in these young guns in the bottom lane, I take it all back. What the hell? Give him that level of confidence. Raze went bonkers.
And I think you picked it. I actually have no idea.
No, I
whether you
did.
picked
I
it
did
or
end
not.
up, you told me that I had to make a decision, and I said Direwolves.
Your decision was that whoever won the game was going to win the set.
No, you're just being me.
Pretty sure the only person who predicted anything was me, and that was a 2-1. I did predict it the wrong way, I'll be honest, but I did give Direwolves at least a game. Look, what a performance, honestly, especially by Raze. I mean, we were talking about Fantix, we talked about Sybil, but that last game, I mean, Raze was splitting bot versus GP. You would 1v1 GP, base, go top, and 1v1 nah. I mean, unreal.
Yeah, I think that we actually have to take a look at some individual performances across the board. Want to start with Raze. Shows that he's not just a one-trick. He's not a Lucian player. You know, he bought out the Ezreal, very famous when he was Zeratul. Actually nearly carried his team into the OPL with it. What a terrific performance.
Yeah, unbelievable. And I'm really glad that you brought that back up as well, because when he was playing in the OCS, his Ezreal play as Zeratul was unbelievable. He was really, really strong on that champion. So it's really great to see him move back to that and also play against Radier in the bottom lane, who is basically the Ezreal player of Oceania. Of course, Radier has sort of been known as having his favorite champion be Ezreal for a very long time. And he just brought it to him toe-to-toe from level 2.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. The level 2 for the Chiefs is really famous. They will take it against every single team. They took a level 2. They lost double summoner spells and their potions straight up to what was a great AD carry.
I mean, I said at the start of the day, Direwolves bot lane is very explosive. I thought that with the cooler, experienced heads of the Chief, if they could avoid that level 2, should win the lane every time. What we see here is that they didn't, and they got punished.
Yeah, they certainly did. And let's take a trip around the map. Sybil in the jungle. This is a guy that I have personally been waiting a very long time to bust out. Double Zac games. Actually got a tweet from the Chiefs owner saying he attributes a lot of Game 2 loss to the Zac. Maybe ban it next time then, because he went ballistic in Game 3.
Sybil on that margin boo.
Yeah.
Guy was everywhere.
Stretch Armstrong definitely making work happen. And I'm honestly a little bit awestruck by what the Dials were able to do. But one thing I do want to say is, it's something that you mentioned earlier, Carbon, is the fact that the Chiefs may not have even planned for a game number 3, because their draft looked a bit strange. The gangplank just flat out didn't work there in the mid lane. Perfection just was all over the top of it. And could it be some disorganization? Maybe?
And that's where I kind of want to That's where I kind of want to end like the night. Where does this take the Chiefs from here? They've just dropped a game in week 2. They're 1-1 with a lot of team in the middle of the pack. Is it panic stations? Like, where do you go from here?
I mean, I don't think you're panicking yet, but you're definitely going back to the drawing board. I mean, they have very lofty expectations for themselves, and I think this will definitely shake them up a bit. You know, wouldn't mind seeing what EGM has to say about their bot lane now.
What are your thoughts, Atlas?
No, actually, I feel the same way. I don't think they necessarily need to go straight back to the drawing board, but I really hope that this is humbling for the team. They've definitely been a side that's very confident, sometimes to a fault. And so we'll see whether this is actually going to bring them down off the high horse, maybe like get back, do some grunt work and get back into it.
Definitely have to see if that is how it works out. However, guys, what it does mean is that the Direwolves are now your OPL legends. So let's go take a look at the week's results. As you can see on the Monday night, Sim was able to pick up a victory over Trident. Legacy and Carbon were able to get over Avant. Tonight we saw Hellions pick up their first win, and the Direwolves, in commanding fashion in the end, strip the OPL Legend title off the Chiefs. And that leaves us with these standings, guys. As you can see up on your screen, it is Legacy at 2-0, along with the Direwolves, who are now your OPL Legends. Chiefs, Avant, and Hellions will be the middle of the pack. Sin Hellions will be the middle of your pack. So that is all we have for you tonight. On behalf of myself, the entire production crew, I would like to thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next Monday night.